was your state of mind? You know, to just put
Our
out
Korra
craft like
Obidi,
that. Honestly,
the dancing princess
goose
of
pimples.
Africa from
Honestly.
our
Thank you.
motherland. Don't
First off,
scatter
I was thinking,
everywhere.
am I just
Guys,
gonna
on this
go,
interview of
doing
Korra
this?
Obidi, it will make you
I have
speech,
to
will
do
leave you
something that would,
speechless of kind of things she has exposed on this interview.
So
Just
this is a
relax,
last-minute
listen
thing.
to what
Okay. I
she
did
is
not plan
saying,
to do a
and
full
kindly
split. In
drop
fact,
your
I remember
comments
talking to
below
my
on what
ex-spouse,
Korra
and
Obidi, our famous
strongly
dancer,
advised
actress,
not to do
and
it.
musician have
And in the
just
spur
said
of the
on
moment, I
this
was just like,
interview. Yeah.
You know, but everything happened great. My water didn't break, and if
Honestly, I'm thankful.
I'm a big fan of that show, right? And I remember watching this particular audition, and I was like, what in the world? I could literally feel their, like the anxiety, like how brave, could you have been? But let's stay on your dance, because you talk about in another interview you've talked about it several times, where dancing and you were dancing in secret because of your parents. And I'm just wondering, why was dance a taboo in your household? And at what point did you begin to feel comfortable to come out of the shadows?
that is not the truth.
Okay.
That is not factual. I love Nigerian media, but they will take your talk, they will twist it. And I never hid my dance. I would say that my family is a very conservative one. I grew up in Deeper Life Bible Church.
Wow.
Yes. I had no holes in my ear until I was 14 years
And
old.
now how many do you have?
I have holes in places you don't want to. Well, that's what happens when you stop someone from doing what they want.
Yes.
So, you revolt,
create an
especially when you get your freedom.
Pastor's child here.
Wow.
We understand. PK.
But of course, PK.
Yeah, the nastiest fantasies, because you just feel so all the time constrained.
And like it felt like the time you were supposed to have some of that exploration, you didn't.
Yeah.
And then
Now
when you're free, you're
and then you might not have control over like the boundaries, as opposed to when you were younger, you make your mistakes, and you're older, then But when you're old and making the mistakes, and
It's much
people
more
are like,
difficult.
she's a full-blown adult, we can't tell her what to do, Anyway, I didn't make any mistakes. Let's just say that I expressed my not having holes by having holes. But no, it was never a taboo.
okay.
It was just not,
It was just not
encouraged. I was supposed to be a lawyer. It was obvious that I was like what is this thing I gave birth to? Among my siblings, I was waking up like this. I was dancing all the time. And I was like, I was that child. So my mother was just like, you probably will be a lawyer or like a teacher or like something very expressive. But she never knew that, I would end up like
So what is it now with them? How do they feel now?
My father was
see daddy in every
music
video.
video.
I see daddy.
My daddy wants to be in my videos now.
Really?
Wow.
My father is like, I think he called them boomers.
Yes.
He's
the
really-
baby boomer generation.
He's like very sought after right now. Like all the women want him. And his divorce.
Zaddy. So Zaddy
My mom died, leaving him single. And then he got into another relationship, and she just like disappeared and went to America. And then he felt heartbroken. So I was kind of trying to make him feel happy through social media. Social media gives me a lot of joy.
Right.
And it also gives me a lot of angst and a lot of
We're gonna get into that.
So in order to make my father feel better, I started to like maybe try to incorporate him. And then I would tell him all the positive comments, and he would be like, they say that? And so he really liked that, and then boom, he just became really sought after.
He's the Zaddy.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if that has also sort of made you guys closer as well. Like, has it affected?
Yeah, and they say be careful because he's getting older. But
Spend as much time.
but we ridiculously close. It's sad.
I feel that. I feel
good.
that.
Yeah.
I think the next question I want to ask, because on this table, I think I'm
Man, with this
qualified to ask
interview that Korra is having with these
Let's talk
people, I'm
about
really
your
having
marriage.
fun.
I
You
know
can
that
really
thing.
know that it's not everything that you see on social media about a person that you used to judge them.
I know you
Korra is
married an
actually
Igbo
a
guy,
cool
you know,
person
fine
and
guy.
a
You know, and we
very
know
simple
that. Last
person,
time I used to
despite
dance
all her
salsa,
dressing
was
that
always
people
coming
used
to teach us
to
salsa. You know, very
criticize her,
impressive
this
girl.
and that.
You fat.
I guess Korra Obidi, she's a cool and nice person.
You know, there are
Based
so
on
many
this
issues
interview that
around
I've listened
inter-tribal
to her so
marriages in
far.
Nigeria,
Yeah.
but you went straight across the globe. Honestly,
swam
did you?
across it.
Let's even start from the basics. Did you face any resistance from your family, or at what point did you feel like, I want to go ahead with this? I don't know what I want. What else?
I will say that at the point, the way my mind was set up, if you had stopped me, you would have been excommunicated.
Was that a form of rebellion? Because
Yes. So it was like the way I was like moving then, it was like, this is what I want, and if you don't want it, then you can't be with me. You can't talk to me, you can't. That was like the energy, you know? And in retrospect, I think that was a red flag, you know? But it was something that I didn't notice. But yeah, my father kind of knew that he had to be okay with it, you know? And my sisters were like, your decision, you know? My brother was like, wow, not just like someone that doesn't look like daddy, but like someone that is not the same race as daddy, you know? But yeah, I'm so grateful for everything.
So we'll get back to that retrospect, but I want to ask, because as public as your, I think, courting to marriage was, you of course having your children and everything, so too was your divorce. And when everything fell apart, you admitted to having an affair before you left Nigeria to live with him. And there are social commentary and social conversations that happen a lot. Some people think that it was a mistake for you to admit that women are taught to be forgiving of cheating, but a lot of times men are not.
Can't
They don't
can't take it.
reciprocate.
And it was, some were like, okay, that was literally the beginning of the end, your admission on that. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a social
to have?
Yes, like for men being able to take it if they do find out that their woman is cheating, and being able to move forward, choosing to actively forgive and move forward in the relationship.
Now that I'm thinking about it right now, if I had not said what I said, if I had not come through with my truth, it wouldn't have brought out all the truth that came to light. Because, as you saw in the blogs, after I admitted to that, he admitted to a lot of things, you know? So it was like we were both doing these things, and we would have been living in a lie,
Right.
to please the public, you know? And how long can you do that? So I would never regret saying, hey, before I came to America, I was having commitment issues, and I was like, whoa, this is like the only man I'm gonna sleep with for the rest of my life, you know? And so, yeah, I dabbled, as you know, in my book. I admitted to it openly, and a lot of people insulted my destiny for it, but at the end of the day, I will never live with secrets. They kill. So I'm not, you're not doing secrets. In fact, I'm so secretless now that people are starting to say, gosh, Korra, you're like a little bit too blunt. I can't take it. You're a little too honest. But that is how I've chosen to live, because I've seen the other side and I'm not interested.
So, you know, you mentioned retrospect, and I said we'd get there. When you look back on your marriage, we'll move away from that in a moment anyway, but when you look back on your marriage, do you think did you guys really have a chance to succeed, or do you think you played any role in possibly the marriage ending or lasting as long as it did, when you really sit back in a corner of your room and you think about everything that happened between you and your husband? Your ex?
For now, let me put this out. I don't want to be the divorced girl. That is played out. I want to be Korra, the woman who is thriving after divorce. You know, all of these amazing music videos. My first hit song was after divorce, you know.
Yeah.
Liberation, you know. What? I don't want that. I don't want pictures like that, because this is not my future. My future is ahead. However, I cannot deny what has happened, and it was so big that it's too big to be ignored. I have played very important roles in the destruction of my marriage. I have also played very important roles in the lasting of the marriage. I've played very important roles in the monies that were made during marriage and even after marriage with the circus that happened. I have played many roles. I would not say, ooh, it had nothing to do with me, that's stupid, because it's two parties and we both had things to do with it. However, this is not my future. I am not Korra, the girl that divorced. I do remember that girl that divorced. No, I'm Korra, the artist, the singing dancing princess from the motherland that is wasting every day. Guys, go see my track record since the wars.
Yeah.
You know,